All right, we're doing Algebra 2 Semester 2, Unit 3, 3.7. There's 3 quizzes in this section. This is going to be focusing on the first quiz. Real quick, so our we have just is reviewing 3 exponent laws. So we have the product law, which is the first one. So you have a times b within the parentheses and the exponents outside. It's the same thing as we could take that exponent individually, a to the n times b to the n. They have the same exponent, they're multiplied. We can kind of separate them or bring them together. The next one's division. We can either keep the exponent outside of the division or into the numerator and the denominator. Same one. And then the power rule, which is anytime you have a power to a power, you just multiply. So we have a to the n to the m. It's a to the n times m. So those are just a review of the 3 rules, and we'll go ahead and utilize these. Excuse me, sorry. Let's see, change a little color. All right, so let's do an example. We have 4 squared times 4 to the x. All right. So, and this is on page 5 of your study guide. So, and it's a multiple answer. So, you can choose different ones. So, 4 squared. The first one is 16 times 4 to the x power. Good. That's equivalent. All right. So the first one, I just go ahead and square do 4 squared. Next one, since they are the same base and they're being multiplied, when you multiply the same base, you add the exponents. Four to the 2 plus x. So anytime you have the same base being multiplied, you add the exponents. And with that, I think that's it. I'm looking at the other possibilities here. Oh. And okay. And then the other one that they had in their answers. This is on page 5 of your study guide. So this was good. They just kind of flipped the x and the 2, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. I just wasn't looking for it. But that's how these problems on this quiz are going to go. They're going to try to trick you by doing this kind of stuff. Where 4 to the 2 plus x, it's the same as 4 to the x plus 2. So you have to kind of go piece by piece. And we'll go ahead and do another one. Alright, next one is 9 to the x. Alright, so we have 9 to the x. One of the answers we can choose is I'm just looking at the answers really, and I'm saying, hey, does this work? Well, 3 times 3 is 9. We have 9 to the x power. That works. 3 to the 2x. Well, again, 3 squared is 9, and then the x kind of stays up there, so that's fine. That's equivalent. Then we have 3x times 3x. Well, this ends up being that, because you're multiplying the same base, so you add the exponent. X plus x is 2x, which all refers back to 9x. And these are all 3 answers for this problem. I can go through, again, this is page 5. This is the second example. They have 3 times 3 to the 2x. Well, this doesn't work because this will end up being 3 to the 1 plus 2x, right? We don't want that. So we are looking for the ones that come back to 9x. So can I kind of go answer by answer maybe? All right, so we'll do one more here, maybe a couple more. We have 6 to the x power over 3 to the x power. So we have this. I can go ahead and separate these based on my quotient law and put the exponent outside. Well, 6 divided by 3 is now 2. So this is going to be 2 to the x. Both of these are acceptable answers. They also have this answer listed. Well, since we know that 2 to the x power is acceptable, well, 3 to the x divided by 3 to the x, that cancels. And I'm left with just the 2 to the x, and we already saw that was an answer, so we're good there. And that is going to be it for this problem. Again, this is all page 5. Looks like we got one more example on page 5, so I'll go ahead and do the final example. So we have 2 to the x. Yeah, 2 to the x. All right, so the first answer is 4 to the x divided by 2 to the x. Well, I can make that 4 divided by 2 and pull the exponent out. That's my quotient law. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. Sorry, it should be a 2x. That works. Actually, another answer that they have is just the 4 divided by 2 of x, right? We already kind of talked about that one. Then there's an interesting one. It's 2 times 2 to the x minus 1. So we have the same base. This is technically an exponent of 1. We have the same base. We're going to go ahead and add our exponents. So this is 2 to the 1 plus x minus 1. Well, we have a plus 1 and a minus 1. That cancels, and I'm left with just 2 to the x. So for this quiz, you're going to have to kind of manipulate, kind of play around, kind of test the answers, and just remember what all my exponent rules and laws are. What am I allowed to do? If I'm not allowed to do it, then it's probably not going to be an answer.